What's up, guys? My name is Adam Ronin, and welcome to the next chapter of my content creation journey. So, music for me has been the end-all, be-all of my entire existence since I was just a little kid. In fact, I can remember clear as day back in second grade that I wanted to start a band. Of course, I had no musical talent of any sort, but I wanted to start a band with some friends, and I wanted to call it Rock It and Wrap It Up. Little did I know, obviously, that 30 years later, that would be foreshadowing to the kind of music that I'm actually making now. I love genre manipulation. I love all types of genres: pop, hip-hop, rock and roll, metal, EDM, and I love to fuse that kind of thing into one cohesive genre, which is what I like to try to think I've accomplished with the music that I make in Adam Ronin. My musical journey didn't, of course, really start back then when I was in second grade. It wasn't really until much later in high school when I actually started singing for the first band that I ever joined with a couple of buddies called Defy. Now, that band, we played one show at the local art museum, and that was it. I was so nervous. I remember getting on stage, almost just puking for like the 25 people that were there, the high school kids and shit like that. But that was it. That was my introduction to music and being on stage, writing my own material. Couldn't play any instruments at the time, but I was out there. Played that one show before that project fell into the ether of failed projects, as things do when you are a creative person and you're trying to put yourself out there. From there, though, I started the relentless pursuit of single-minded focus of being on a musical journey. And after several years, that actually started to happen with a couple of bands that I started to sing and songwrite for that actually got pretty big between the years of 2006 and 2011-ish. Now, after those started to do some big things and got some big opportunities, it was then that I kind of started to realize it just wasn't working out the way I wanted. I quit. I just uprooted the life that I was living in pursuit of something different, though I didn't know what that was. After I quit all that, I really realized that I couldn't stop making music. And, how could I? It was the biggest part of my identity and my existence ever since I was just a young teenager. So in 2015, I launched the brand of Adam Ronin. But man, boy, did I love making music. So since that time of 2015 to current, I have put out 3 albums under the Adam Ronin moniker, and 1 album under the band that I've been doing with my buddy Tristan, called Bleed the Kyber. And there's going to be more on that here to come in the near future. I got a lot of stuff going on brewing with that. When I make music, as it always has been, I make the music for me. It's a coping mechanism, it's therapy, and it's a way for me to find a light in the perpetually dark world that we happen to live in this current time. Now, never in a million years did I think that I would find other people that my music and creative efforts had touched in such a way that also lifted them to a better place. But there are. Let's take, for example, Joey and his wife, Crystal.
Hello from Vancouver, Washington. My name is Joey Catania, and I'm an Adam Ronin fan. I found Adam looking on YouTube for Fight Stick reviews. When I couldn't consume any more of his content, I found his music. And his music is where I truly consider myself becoming a fan. His compassion and his talent, raw talent, and most of all, his unique sound is why I got obsessed. From Final Castle to When I'm God to, my wife's favorite, Battle Cry. We just all fell in love. He's a household name. So as a brand, I think Adam Ronin is awesome. But as a person, Adam Ronin to me is a friend and someone that has brought a lot of joy in my life. That's probably why, the purpose of him doing this stuff is to connect and change people's lives. And if that's what his goal was, that's what he did. That's the main reason why I chose to ask my wife when I asked my wife to marry me, for her to walk down the aisle to Final Castle. It's always been our song since we've known each other, and it was beautiful. Out in the middle of the sticks with Adam Ronin blasting, he changed my life. It's crazy, I never met the man, but to have that much of an impact to people he's never met is amazing.
See, now, the song that I wrote this in 2015, that's called The Final Castle. I wrote that for my ex-girlfriend. She was, at the time, without a doubt, the absolute best thing that could have happened to me. I was just so unbelievably in love with her that I couldn't find a way to express that feeling better than how I know how to express emotions best, which is making music. Now, we ended up breaking up a couple of years ago. We just kind of grew apart, and we decided to break up so she could pursue some of her own paths. But man, once we broke up, it took me a long time to get past that. It was like a really, really hard moment for me. So that song, which was now out into the universe, it was on an album officially, there was no taking it back, it was out in the open. I couldn't stand to listen to that 3.5 minutes because, to me, listening to it was just a reminder of a failure of my life. Not being able to make, to me, what was the most important romance that I had ever encountered and probably will ever encounter, work. That was just dreadful for me to hear the song. It just like ripped me apart inside. Now, when Joey came along and his wife Crystal, and he just started talking to me about how much that song meant to them. They fell in love and they kind of branded that song as their song. It was really interesting, the emotions that I went through, because then I could relinquish my feelings for that song, because now that song no longer belonged to me and the person I wrote it for. It belonged to other people and new memories that they're creating for themselves and their life, and they fell in love, and now that song is theirs. So now I can listen to that song because it no longer reminds me of a painful time. It reminds me of something beautiful that someone else shares. And that's incredible. That is magic. Adore you. Oh, these words are the only thing I know that's real. Adore you. Because you are the light in my darkness. Her hair looks so pretty. Now, I'm going to be a bit vulnerable here with you for just a second because I feel like I have to be. This is my channel. This is a new venture, and we're not talking about video games and stuff anymore. This is me. This is my brand, so I'm going to be a bit vulnerable with you. The biggest reason I make music is to deal with my own mental health issues and struggles. I struggle very, 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 very deeply with depression. Darkness seems to just permeate me way too often and too deeply that I care to admit sometimes. And I have to put that into music. It's my way of healing. Now, a lot of people don't know that. In fact, almost nobody knows that because, and it's okay, but at the time and at this current time, I don't have a huge fan base. And there's not a lot of people, although some, and we'll get to that, but there's not a lot of people that really dug in and listened to the music. So sometimes those cries for help just went unnoticed. I had no one to turn to. The only way I knew to talk about my feelings was writing songs about it. And since no one really listens to music, and if they do, they just kind of listen to it. They don't really dig into the lyrics. So no one really knew how bad I was struggling. No one knew how bad it got, how close I got to some certain things. All I had was to turn to music. That was, God bless my friends and stuff, but sometimes they're just oblivious to when somebody's struggling. I think everybody is. So music was what I had to turn to. It was through to continue to make music that and doing other different things to better my own mental health that I kind of started to see a light at the end of the tunnel in which there was previously only darkness and blackness. And now I saw a light and I started to get inspired by life. I started to turn new leaves. And so I started writing, and I came out with the last album that I just came out with called The Neon Phoenix, which is essentially, if you really dig in and listen to it, it is an absolute stark departure from what the album before that was. This was an album that was an effect of those healings and kind of places of hope for me, a little bit more uplifting and empowering things for myself. So I love to listen to it because I can just hear the strength that I was able to find within myself through some of those songs. And it's really cool for me to listen to back to back some of the darkest songs compared to those songs, and it's really cool. Little did I know, though, however, that this same type of darkness existed in other people. Now, I do know that, of course, but it's just such a strange concept that maybe some of those people could latch on to some of the exact same things I was feeling and get healed by some of the exact same music that I was making for myself. I received this message a couple of months ago on Instagram. It pointed out to me that through my own pain, creativity, and growth, that at least one person found the courage through those things to move forward in their own lives. I asked this person if I could share this, and they said absolutely. But of course, they wanted to remain anonymous, so I've marked out the names and things. It says, hey, you don't know me, but I just want to reach out to tell you a couple of things. I've been listening to your music since the 8-bit Harakiri days, 8BHK. That's 8-bit Harakiri. That's another project that I did that was pre-Adam Ronin. It was a solo project. I listened to you since those days, and I followed you along the way. I'm just a face in the crowd, but your music has affected me on a whole other level. To be completely honest, I had plans to kill myself this last May. But your latest album kind of gave me hope to try to be, quote, something more, unquote, as you say. So since then, I found reasons to live, to get sober, am on a better path. So please don't stop putting magic out into the world, and know there's at least one dude who appreciates your art. Keep on rocking, dude. When I got that message, it really changed everything for me. It put life in a different perspective. It put the things that I was putting my time and efforts into in a different perspective. And I started to formulate these ideas and realize I need to put more stock into my own talents and abilities, albeit I'm not the greatest musician, I'm not the greatest singer, I'm not the greatest guitar player, but I'm a competent songwriter and I'm able to put my thoughts into songs that I think matter. If I can affect just one person and make a difference in a life, or make someone smile, give someone hope, or make someone just feel like they aren't alone, then I'm doing what I was meant and put on this earth to do. See, I feel like the world needs magic. Everywhere you look in 2020, the world that we live in at this time, things seem to be worse than ever. You've got politics that are tearing relationships apart, and people arguing with one another about just the most meaningless little fucking things. People are getting sick and dying because of a pandemic that's running rampant throughout the world. Whether you're anti-masker or you're a masker, it doesn't matter. People are getting sick and things are tough. And because of the pandemic and having to stay at home and being in quarantine, mental health is at its peak of struggles right now for people. Suicide rates are up. People are struggling. People are feeling alone. Not a lot of people are dealing with the fact of not talking to people or having anyone around them. Some people are alone. That's a very real problem that the world is experiencing right now. Now, if only we could pull out a magic wand and just cast some spells and fix all of the world's issues, it would be awesome. It would be a better place, and that would just be it. But we can't, because that kind of magic, unfortunately, just doesn't exist. Because then life could be beautiful. But you know what? Life is already beautiful. And magic, in a way, already does exist. Music is magic. One arrangement or piece of music can bring you to tears, can elevate you, can inspire you, can lift you up, can bring you down, it can empower you, it can cast a literal spell over you and change everything entirely with just 3.5 minutes of music, of sound. And it's been that way since the dawn of instruments. That's real magic, and that is what music is. And that, my friends, is what we are doing here. This channel is going to be all about making magic. And of course, we're going to be doing that through music. I've decided that it is my mission and my goal to be an inspiring and positive force in the world when it needs it most, which is now. It's right now. And I'm going to do that through the only way I know how. Singing, playing guitar, playing piano, making music, and music-related videos, and bringing you on that journey. But also through doing that, I want to be able to give back to a lot of things. So I'm going to be doing a lot of different fundraiser type of things through the channel and through other means. But one thing I want to point out is also today, launching this video, I've launched the merch store for me, which is weird to say. It's like so weird to be like, I have a merch store for my brand, but I do. And one of the shirts that's on there is a Music is Magic shirt and merch. There's lots of stuff from, if you click that, there's shirts for boys, unisex, girls shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies, kids stuff. And that from there, the proceeds from those sales, I'm going to donate and put out towards mental health studies and suicide awareness and stuff like that. I think it's important. So if you wouldn't mind checking that out and supporting if you can, that is something I am going forward, and it's a mission statement of sorts, and something I'm putting out into the universe to just remind everyone that music is magic. And it's something I want everyone to aspire to put out into the world. We can get through everything. You know, there's not a particular end to these things, but we can help each other through empathy, love, and music. I've got a few pieces of note here before we wrap up this video, but there's going to be videos here every week now. I'm going to be putting out a video every Wednesday or Friday-ish every week. We'll start with like one video a week until, you know, things ramp up. Right now we're almost at 300 subscribers, so it's a small following, but we're going to grow that up, and we're going to grow it up to be the best community. Our Ronin 24 already had a really fucking great community, and a lot of those people have come over, but we're going to build a new community, and it's going to be a beautiful, amazing place. So a couple of resources here I want to point out. I do encourage you to go check out the Ronin Clan Discord. Now, this is a Discord we've had for years. It's been rebranded to the Ronin Clan as opposed to the Ronin 24 Discord. That link is in the description. I do encourage you to go there because there are amazing human beings that exist there that have been a part of the community for years. There's some new people in there, but it's really just like a family now. Everybody's such good friends. I've made some of the best friends of my life through fans of R24, and that are now fans of here. And that is also a place for you. It is a place for people that need friends, a place for people that maybe don't have anyone to talk to. It's a place for nerds to just banter. It's a place for all things Ronin. Because you know what? We march to the beat of our own drums. We have no masters. We answer to no one but ourselves, and that is a place for you. So please click the link in the description if you want to join that. It's open to everybody. Everybody's welcome there. It's a good place. People are great there. Twitch. There is Twitch. That is twitch.tv/AdamRoninLive. Very soon I'm going to start doing live streams of making music with everybody and just kind of hanging out, and you guys can help me write songs, and they'll be voting for what kind of genre of music we're going to work on today. And I'm also going to do fundraising streams where we're getting money together to help with the further of study of mental health and suicide awareness and stuff like that. Those will be happening there. So go give that a follow, because we'll be live here probably in a few weeks starting some stuff there, and I'll be doing that maybe once a week or so. And there'll also be just some chill nights, just playing games together and stuff, like old school. But yeah, that's basically it, guys. As per usual, you know the drill here. Like the video, share it with your friends, subscribe, and click that stupid little YouTube bell, because the algorithms are really crappy. So we'll be putting up videos once a week or so. And anyways, guys, my name's Adam Ronin. Follow me on the socials so you can keep up with me. Got Instagram and Twitter here. Thanks for taking the time in your day to listen to me rant for a few minutes, and I will see you next week. Take care, guys.